Most rewarding part of my job, just getting to do what I love all day, every day. I love to create. I love to be immersed in food. Very rewarding to me to realize that the thing that I'm working on and that our team is working on together, we're feeding, I think it's like 1 million people per month are eating a salad or sandwich at Mendocino Farms. Like, that's insane. The funny thing about me is when you look at all of my childhood photos, every single photo, I either have food in my hands, food in my mouth, or I'm in the kitchen doing something or stirring a pot. I'm not sure why, I just was always really drawn to food and to cooking. And that being the case, one day I was riding my bike in the parking lot down the street from my house. This guy comes running out and said, "Hey man, you want a job?" I was like, "What?" I was 14 years old, riding my bike, doing papa wheelies off the curb, right? And he's like, "If you want a job, come work at Domino's Pizza. You'll make $4.25 an hour and you'll have all the free pizza you can eat and all the free pop you can drink." And I was like, "Free pizza, free pop, let's go," right? That was my first job. And I really fell in love with, in those early jobs, in those early years of my career, the thing that I just instantly clicked with was the physically engaging part of cooking. Being on my feet, pounding the dough, throwing the pizza dough up in the air, and then the different steps of building the pizza. In those years, I discovered I have a bit of perfectionism in me. I adore the process of making things and working with my hands. What that meant to me is I found in my first take, in my first job, my passion and the thing that I wanted to do for the rest of my life. About to show you and walk you through our #1 menu item. It's called the avocado quinoa superfood ensalada. It's our best-selling salad and it's our best-selling item overall on the entire menu by a long shot. The thing that makes our salad different from all the others is a simple crunchy topping. It's special and unique to Mendo. We call it the quinoa superfood crunchies, and it's crunchies with a K. What this is fried quinoa and fried millet tossed with a very addictive seasoning. When I came up with this seasoning mix, I was just trying to come up with something umami and as addictive as Doritos. So we're gonna start with romaine and kale as the greens, and we use romaine for crunch, and the kale gives a nice structure and it helps it to feel health forward. We're gonna add cooked quinoa and millet. This is what helps the salad to feel very fulfilling and satiating, like a meal. And next is what we call our succotash, which is jicama, black beans, and corn. We're gonna add fresh chopped cilantro. We do lots and lots of fresh herbs at Mendocino Farms. I think it's a really important flavor touch, and I mandate that we chop fresh cilantro every single day. A few slivers of red onion. Next, we're gonna add chipotle vinaigrette. I think chipotle is one of those flavors, everyone's familiar with it nowadays. I think it's the most approachable, adventurous flavor, if that makes sense. Next, we're gonna transfer to a salad bowl. A lot of times when you do this, the goodies fall to the bottom, which is great because then we can dump them right back on top. We're gonna add some cotija. Cotija cheese is a Mexican cheese and it tastes quite a lot like Parmesan. Very umami and it got a nice salt forward taste. Next, we're gonna add the special superfood crunchies and then some grape tomatoes. Last but not least, a whole half of an avocado. Just add a little bit of salt and pepper, fan that out. And it's like the crowning touch. Avocado quinoa superfood ensalada. So the moment that it crystallized for me that I was really excited or interested in learning more about nutrition, which is being the interaction between food and your body. In those younger years, I would do a lot of skateboarding, a lot of BMX racing. And I remember riding my bike down to the corner store. I would buy Suzy Q's and this Faygo pop. It was a Michigan thing, right? I remember hot, sunny afternoon after I'd eaten these sugary foods, just kind of feeling completely lethargic and having no energy. And that's kind of when it clicked. I was like, oh, certain things you eat can help you in your life, and other things that you eat can maybe hurt you or hold you back from doing the things you want to do or being the person you want to be. I always like to create foods that have a nice, natural balance of health and indulgence. I don't want to go so healthy that the food is not really exciting. and it's alienating to the general population. But I don't want to go the other direction and have food that weighs you down and you feel kind of tastes good, but then you feel kind of heavy and gross and tired. I want to create food that's got the nice balance, perfect balance, super delicious and craveable, but it's like energizing and you feel great afterwards. Then the other thing that I think defines my style, at least, and especially now working with Mendocino Farms, I'd say a big part of what you see on our menu is what we call approachably adventurous. We're working with everyday foods, peaches, cucumbers, tomatoes, right? But trying to find a way to elevate everyday foods. And the way we do that is what I call like finding the Mendo twist. So we might work with a green goddess salad or a Caesar salad. Everyone knows Caesar salad, but we're looking for ways to like punch it up and make it exciting. Now I'm gonna walk you through one of my favorite salads. It's a peach goat cheese salad. This is a seasonal special that we run in the summertime. When I first came up with it, you didn't really see fresh peaches on fast casual menus. So I felt like that was an opportunity to do something innovative. And I just personally really love peaches, and I think it's one of the most iconic ingredients of the summertime. And of course, peaches go really well with something creamy or cheesy. And in this case, we have a really great marinated goat cheese that we already have on our menu. It's just a match made in heaven. So we're gonna add our mixed greens to the salad bowl. It's actually mixed greens and a little bit of romaine in there. Mixed greens tend to have some bitterness. Romaine is crunchy and a little bit of sweetness, so it's a nice balance. We're adding some roasted shaved chicken. We're gonna add some thinly shaved fennel. We add a little bit of lemon to the fennel to keep it from turning brown, keep it nice and fresh. We're gonna do fresh mint. Love the fresh herbs. Always trying to fit a fresh herb into our salads as just another layer of flavor. We just tear them to help release the flavors into the salad. Next, this dressing we call the farmhouse vinaigrette. Everybody knows balsamic vinaigrette. This one's a little bit different. The Mendo twist is something I learned in fine dining, and that's where you combine balsamic vinegar with sherry vinegar. Sherry has like a little bit of a oaky, woody, almost barrel taste to it that together it just adds something a little special, a little different. So now I'm gonna toss this together. I call this the gravity toss, where you pick it up and let gravity bring it back down and it combines and the dressing gets integrated without, putting too much pressure to the greens, the delicate greens. So now we're gonna transfer the salad to a serving bowl. Now we're gonna add our garnishes. These are like flavor pops. This is pickled red onions, a little sweet, a little acidic, adds a little pop of color, but more importantly, adds a pop of flavor. Honey roasted almonds adds a nice crunch. It's a little salty, a little sweet, and pinch of cayenne in there. Next, a good amount of fresh peaches, the star of the show. Little scoop of our marinated goat cheese on top, and the finishing touch, the hot peach honey drizzle. Love the addition of the hot peach honey. I think it takes this really tasty seasonal concept to a whole nother level of fun and excitement. Mendocino Farms has led the way in innovation many times over the years. Broadly speaking, probably the biggest innovation that we repeatedly do isn't that we invent something that doesn't exist, but we'll take something that's out there and be one of the first to pull it into the fast casual space. I love to do that. I love to find things I see in full service restaurants or even fine dining, like a flavor profile or like peaches and prosciutto, for example, something you see all the time in fine dining. You just don't ever see it in a fast casual. So I built that into a sandwich for Mendo. We were very early in getting rid of our soda machines. What we did is replace it with like fresh house-made lemonades. We're adding fun flavors like guava, passion fruit, or we did a really cool one with Thai flavors, had turmeric and ginger and lemongrass and Thai basil, like really fun stuff. It's interesting because as a chef, I'm constantly wanting to push the envelope and bring the lesser known things that I think are exciting and bring the recipes that I'm creating for our guests. But we've learned over the years that mostly our guests really lean to the approachable items with just a little fun twist. What we do at Mendo to kind of solve that whole problem for our guests is we offer the Fearless Foodie Pledge. We encourage our guests to try the new thing. Hey, just give it a shot. If you don't like it, no worries. We'll get you your regular thing, no charge. We just want to make sure that you're happy. But at the same time, the important thing for us is we want to encourage our guests to have more than just one thing that they love in the menu. I'm gonna show you one of our new and exciting menu items, and it's called a spicy Calabrian turkey focaccia. Okay, so we'll start with preparing the focaccia. We're gonna trim the ends, cut it into portions, and toast it. I went to our bakery to work on this focaccia. Every good sandwich starts with great bread and a great spread. This is a Calabrian chili aioli. So it's garlicky, it's spicy. Next, we're gonna add some shaved Parmesan and a really good amount, like a generous amount. Next, we'll add our roasted sliced turkey. Our turkey is really great. Our guests really love it. Next, we're gonna add another flavor pop. This is our Mama Lil's sweet, hot, pickled peppers. The great thing about like pickled items is it gives this pop of like acidity and sweetness all at once. It's like a little burst of flavor. Add some brightness to the sandwich. Next, we're gonna add some thinly sliced sweet onion, a couple of slices of tomato. Now we're gonna add fresh arugula. I give it a little scrunch so it stays on top of the sandwich pretty good. Now, this is where it all comes together. This is Calabrian chili vinaigrette. So you got the Calabrian chili aioli, which is rich and creamy and garlicky and spicy. And then the vinaigrette's got red wine vinegar and the chilies and some olive oil. So they're similar flavor profiles, but they do something different and they interact in the mouth, which creates a really nice complexity and depth of flavor. So this is what takes it to a whole nother level. There you have it. When I was working for the late, great Charlie Trotter, it was like a life-changing experience the whole time I was there. Incredibly inspiring every second of every day. So many takeaways, but one that really stands out for me right now, which I apply every day of my life, is learning from your mistakes and thinking of failure not as a setback, but thinking of it and embracing it as more or less a step in the growth process. For young chefs that are interested in both nutrition and flavor, my advice to you would be, first of all, taste is paramount. You have to immerse yourself in flavor development. Go get a job at the best restaurant, the chefs that are making the most delicious food, the kind of food that inspires you the most, and just immerse yourself in that for many, many years. Then I would also encourage you, if you really have that special interest in nutrition, go to college and study nutrition. There's a ton of misinformation about nutrition, health and wellness out there in the world. It's really difficult, almost impossible, I think, to figure out what's what. Nutritional principles I learned in school a long time ago still hold true today. And then it's up to you to find ways to put those two together.